Hello, friends. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. It's your old pal, Justin Robert Young. Joining you, we are somewhat live. Well, no, we are live. We are definitely live. We are somewhat on time. Rare for us. Very rare. But, let me see. I'm going to do a little bit of, oops. Opa. Here we go. I do some uploading here. Download that clip. Upload that to the old YouTube. Welcome, everybody. Yeah, we are live. We're live a little early because I actually have to stay on time today. I got back to back shit to do today. Oh my God. We got the stream. We have an interview right after the stream. That leads right into We're Not Wrong. That leads right into a dentist appointment. I got to get a cavity filled. And then I come back and do PX3. So we got a lot going on. Jeep gang. Keep the Jeep riding, huh? Jeep gang. Waffleophagus, that's the beautiful thing. Now that we are restreaming all over the place, restreaming to Twitter, many people are seeing us. We are streaming to Twitch, as we always do, and we are streaming to YouTube. We are not streaming to and you want to know what? Let's try this. Let's try to just keep the overlay on so everybody can see themselves. Let's try that. I did flip the screen, so that's good. We are not, I don't have an account on Kick, but I could kick it. We can try out some different solutions. We got a lot of space here. Mr. Ben Ratner. Mr. Ben Ratner joining us. Thank you, sir. Welcome to the show. The famous Ben Ratner. I was telling the Ben Ratner story the other day because I was speaking with a French journalist. No, is she French? She might have been French. I think she was French. Yes. She was a French journalist in New Hampshire who lives in DC, covers American politics for a French outlet, talking about covering the Proud Boys trial. And I said, fun fact, I know the guy that was the namesake of the Proud Boys. I can't believe the Vince McMahon allegations. Look, if you can't believe the Vince McMahon allegations, then you have not been paying attention to wrestling. Vince McMahon is a noted weirdo that, I guess skated along the lines of belligerent eccentric amongst fans of the industry for a long time. This is not surprising. I don't know if it's the whole story. I would assume that Vince McMahon probably has text messages of his own that he would that he would share. But rumor today that Netflix was angling to back out of their deal after the Vince thing, and that part of that might have been part of the reason why Vince wound up backing out. did I round up wanting a wire because the 3 to 5 times stream upload? No. That's the beauty, is that if you go, I'm only streaming to one site. The site is streaming to 3 to 5 people. At least I think that's how it works. So I get more latency. So people are going to get to me a little bit slower than they would if I streamed directly to any one of these sites. But I think that's the benefit of Restream. Have any WWE or former WWF wrestlers had anything to say about Vince being abusive? Yes. Yeah, some of it is in code, right? But yeah, certainly. There's been a lot of conversation about that. What is a straw poll? Okay, that's a good question. So I mentioned this on the podcast that Lauren Boebert came in 5th at a straw poll of Republicans in the new district that she is running in. Let's take a look at that. Exactly what does that mean? Or like where she is. Oh. Can I run the vacuum a second, Bobby? Yeah, no, run the vacuum. Lauren Boebert, new district. Anyway, a straw poll is just effectively a informal, like, poll of people that are there. So it was like 100 people and they're all plugged into Republican politics. So, and they all support other people that are probably not pleased that a gigantic 100% name recognition in their district megastar just rolled in. So I don't know if that matters a lot. I don't suspect it matters a lot, but I do think it matters some, that at the very least, there is some inside friction to Lauren Boebert coming in. Okay, so let's see. She's in the 4th district, Colorado congressional districts map. All right. So Colorado has 8 congressional districts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 6, 7, 8. She was in 5. That is a smaller district, a less rural district, and it does border some other bluer areas. And so that's why she had a hard time winning in the midterm election. She's now in 4. So that is a far bigger area, but not as much population. The question is whether or not she's going to be looked at as a carpetbagger and will lose a primary. Now, you don't necessarily want to lose a straw poll with a bunch of locals, but it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. First, you take my Twitch Prime money, and now you cut on my YouTube Premium. Will you ever have enough? No, I won't. Are you a patron? What can I do to get you in to a Patreon subscription? Hello, Jacob. Is everyone in the same room for the straw poll? Yes. This was a gathering of around 100 people for a meeting of the Republican Party of that district. Again, I would put it low on the list of things that might matter. I wouldn't put it high on the list of things that matter. I would put it low. That's just me. That's just me. I like this overlay though. The overlay is good, and it keeps everybody can see, if they're responding on whatever platform, you guys can all see each other, which is very, very very cool. I want to be wherever the chat conversation is happening. Well, that's the thing, is if it's here on the screen, then you are. Maybe. I don't know. I still tend to believe that chat winds up pooling in one place no matter what when you restream. That just is what it is. I don't think that we'll always stream everywhere, but I do think that, look, with X/Twitter, live streams are pretty ephemeral. Nobody gets mad at a live stream happening. You just kind of scroll by it. YouTube obviously has an emerging live streaming culture, but is primarily a place where you just get videos. Twitch is all live streaming and has a tremendous live streaming culture. So my guess is we'll still wind up pooling on Twitch, but who knows? I hope you can customize it with your own motion graphics. Yeah, I don't know. To be honest, I think right now the biggest thing is whether or not I can just get this out to as many people as possible. Am I considering Kick? You want to know what? Consider Kick considered. I have not signed up for Kick. I have no idea the kind of people that are on Kick. I don't know. Do they do Rumble? Maybe I should do Rumble. All I know is this, is that I am free. I'm free to slut about with streaming platforms. I used to have a strong allegiance to Twitch. And then Twitch no longer had a strong allegiance to our little family here in Austin, Texas. And so, I got wandering eyes now. I'm looking over. I'm like, oh, YouTube. Oh, you've been working out, huh? Did I get the Twitch buffering issue sorted? Yeah, it was in Twitch. It was my ATEM. My ATEM was trying to stream at way too high of a bit rate. And it's not easy to adjust it. You basically have to take your XML file, your text file, and manually adjust it. And I'm like, fuck it. Whatever. Still laggy. Wait, we're still laggy on Twitch? You gotta be fucking kidding me. Let me take a look. Like editing INI files for video games. All right, let me see if we're lagging. Let me take a look. We'll keep an eye on the bit rate. Yeah, well, I don't know. Doesn't look laggy over here, but I'll keep an eye on it. The problem was we were streaming at way too high of a bit rate before. I mean, it's definitely less, it's shittier latency. That's a fact. That is an absolute fact. We have a way worse latency when we are on Restream. I'm going to be talking about Taylor Swift a lot today, and I'm not a fan of it, to be totally honest with you. I'm just not. Here's the reality. I set up, so Friday's episode will be me and Kevin Ryan. We're going to be talking about Taylor Swift, but in the big picture, the way that me and Kevin Ryan talk about it. I want to talk about Taylor Swift and masculinity amongst the conservative movement. That's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the state of masculinity amongst conservatives, because my thought, spoilers for the show, is I think Taylor Swift being in this high profile of a relationship with a meathead like Travis Kelce is the best thing to happen in pop culture to testosterone in probably 25 years. You just went from the artistic muse of femininity, literally making a career on being lovelorn, while going from British string bean to British string bean. Fuckboy actors. Not exactly people that you would consider high tea. And then next thing you know, this dude shoots his shot. He's about as meathead as a meathead gets from a meathead family, with his meathead brother taking his shirt off in 10-degree weather, shotgunning beers. And now all of a sudden she's slapping the glass, screaming, "Let's fucking go." This is, meat and potatoes Americana. This is a classically feminine archetype matching with a classically masculine archetype. You would think that conservatives would be over the moon for this. And yet, you're seeing pushback. Why? Why? I got some theories, but I'm going to chop them up with Kevin Ryan. It is an epic dudes rock moment. But then, all right, so here's the thing. I want to talk about it with Kevin Ryan. Then we had the Patreon for We're Not Wrong was going to be the meltdown in journalism. But Heaton and Briney were like, "Can we talk about Taylor Swift? I want to talk about Taylor Swift." And I'm like, fuck, all right. So we're going to talk about Taylor Swift on the Patreon for We're Not Wrong too. So you're going to get a lot of Taylor Swift content if you are both a patron for We're Not Wrong and you listen to PX3. But help me with my prep here, guys, because I don't really know. As far as I know, the pushback against Taylor Swift from the conservative side is Jack Posobiec and Jesse Waters. And Jesse Waters is very tongue-in-cheek. He's does a tongue-in-cheek show. Jack Posobiec is a fucking, he's a Twitter operative. But I don't know. Is anyone really taking the Taylor Swift thing seriously on the right? Or is this one of those things where it's just that perfect marriage of internet bullshit plus politics plus pop culture? because Rolling Stone wrote a breathless story about it. I was reading it before we went live. From the august institution of Rolling Stone. Trump allies pledge holy war against Taylor Swift. This is an exclusive, you guys. Singer-songwriter Taylor Swift hasn't even endorsed Joe Biden for re-election yet. That hasn't stopped members of MAGA land's upper crust from plotting to declare, as one source close to Donald Trump calls it, a holy war on the pop megastar, especially if she ends up publicly backing the Democrats in the 2024 election. According to 3 people familiar with the matter, Trump loyalists working on or close to the former president's campaign, longtime Trump allies and right-wing media, an array of outside advisors to the ex-president have long taken it as a given that Swift will eventually endorse Biden, as she did in 2020. Indeed, several of those Republicans and conservative media figures have discussed the matter with Trump over the past few months, sources say. While Swift has not yet issued an endorsement in the 2024 race, the New York Times reported Monday that Swift is a key name on Biden aide's wish list of potential surrogates. Doy. A potential Swift appearance at Super Bowl, what is it? 43? What's Super Bowl? Anyway. No, it's L is 40, right? Or is L 50? I don't know. The Super Bowl alongside her boyfriend, Kansas City Chiefs tight end. L is 50, so this is 58. Alongside her boyfriend, Travis Kelce has already prompted the MAGA rights culture war pugilist into a conspiracy-fueled froth about how this NFL season has been rigged to boost Biden. Behind the scenes, as documented by Rolling Stone, Trump has reacted to the possibility of Biden and Swift teaming up against him this year, not with alarm, but with an instant projection of ego. In recent weeks, the former president has told people in his orbit that no amount of A-list celebrity endorsements will save Biden. That sounds like Trump. Trump has also privately claimed that he is more popular than Swift and that he has more committed fans than she does. A person close to Trump and another source with knowledge of the matter tell Rolling Stone. That sounds, I don't know. I don't know where that comes from. It does, it sounds kind of like Trump just musing, though. Like, when you think about it, I have just as many fans, just as many. You know, you know, how many would go out and vote for her? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. Why can't I know it? Last month, the source close to Trump adds that the ex-president commented to some confidence that it obviously made no sense that he was not named Time Magazine's 2023 Person of the Year, an honor that went to Swift in December. Now, that very much sounds like Trump. He is obsessed with the Time Man of the Year. In an email to Rolling Stone, Trump campaign senior advisor Jason Miller shrugged off the projection of Swift's endorsement to Trump's rival. Joe Biden might be counting on Taylor Swift to save him, but voters are looking at these skyfly inflation rates and saying, we are never, ever getting back together. It's a fun quote. The former president has already taken public swipes at Swift because of her endorsement of 2 Tennessee Democrats running during the 2018 midterms. I like Taylor's music about 25% less now, Trump said following the pop star statement. Swift blasted Trump during the 2020 election, accusing him of blatantly trying to cheat and put millions of Americans' lives at risk. Meanwhile, Trump has been having a popularity contest with Swift in his own head. Others close to him, including GOP operatives and some of his 2024 staff and Trumpy media figures, have been brainstorming different ways to go after Swift. That's a wide net for sources, by the way. So first off, the claim that you're making is that Swift is having his own popularity contest against Swift in his head. And to justify it, you are saying that the GOP operatives, some of his 2024 staff and media figures have been brainstorming different ways to go after Swift. It just seems like this is hard. You're sweating really, really hard to tie Donald Trump to this story. Because you can say that the conservative media is talking about it. You can say that Biden wants her as a surrogate. But it's hard to tie Trump to it. But you need to tie Trump to it if you want to get the story. Since late last year, these Trump allies have repeatedly discussed how to turn the culture war dial up to 11 if she re-endorses Biden this year. Quote, it would be more fuel thrown onto the culture war fires. Another left-wing celebrity who's part of the Democrat elite telling you what to think. Publicly, members of Trump's inner sanctum and social circle are already signaling Swift's prominent position atop their enemies list. A situation that reached a fever pitch now that Swift's boyfriend will once again be playing in the Super Bowl. On Monday, Trump's lawyer, Alina Habba, shared a post on social media that includes the caption, who thinks this country needs a lot more women like Alina Habba and a lot less like Taylor Swift? Fox News host Jeanine Pirro, who acted as an informal political advisor to Trump, including and during his presidency, warned Swift to stay out of 2024. Don't get involved. Don't get involved in politics. We don't want to see you there, the Fox host said. Joe Biden is in a hole with young people, and he knows it. And if he thinks that Taylor can get him out of that hole, he's going to go for it. It's not a bad Judge Jeanine. Former GOP presidential hopeful and current Trump hype man Vivek Ramaswamy took to Twitter following the latest Chiefs playoff win to claim that the unnamed forces would rig the Super Bowl as to give a as yet non-existent endorsement from the artificially culturally propped up couple increased visibility. Well, that's weird. You should probably just write what he said. Can somebody find me the Vivek Ramaswamy tweet? Former GOP presidential hopeful and current Trump hype man Vivek Ramaswamy took to Twitter following the latest Chiefs playoff win to claim that unnamed forces would rig the Super Bowl to give an as yet non-existent endorsement from the artificially culturally propped up couple increased visibility. MAGA pundits have spent months fuming about Swift and her boyfriend, already a hated figure for his role as a Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine spokesman, during a rant in November about the GOP's losses across a string of state elections on abortion-related ballot initiatives. Turning Point USA founder and Trump ally Charlie Kirk warned that Swift was, quote, going to come out in the presidential election and mobilize her fans, adding that all the Swifties want is a swift abortion. Fox News host and Trump buddy Jesse Waters declared Swift a potential Pentagon psyop and a front for a covert political agenda. I think that was tongue-in-cheek, at least what I saw. Others working to put Trump back in the White House say that the liberal celebs can bring it on. Since Biden's so weak, they need others to shore up his credibility. It won't matter since his disapproval is driving the race. Voters aren't fools, John McLaughlin, a top pollster for Trump, says in response to Rolling Stone's questions regarding Swift. Celeb endorsements of Biden are like donating to Nikki Haley. They are a means of virtue signaling. It's like wearing a medical mask in public after COVID. Celebrities can endorse Biden, but it doesn't lower inflation, stop wars, fix the border, or lower crime. Biden's job approval still sucks. So Trump is still winning and will win. Spokespeople for Swift and Trump did not respond to Rolling Stone's request for the story. I would have probably put that higher in the story, but then people might not have read it. So this is a nothing story. You've got unnamed people around Trump essentially just saying what Trump says all the time, which is Trump is the most pop culture literate president that we've probably ever had, because he was a pop culture literate guy before. You know, he knows what's popular. Do you think Donald Trump at age 50 wanted to be talking about the dating lives of the Twilight stars? No. He just knows that if he has a take on Robert Pattinson and Kristen Stewart, that people will pay attention to him. So we did it. I mean, I just think everybody wants the rub, right? Taylor Swift is very hot right now. Sizzling. This is the closest thing that American pop culture has had to like a Marilyn Monroe, Mickey Mantle situation, where you have a massive, massive pop culture star, quite possibly the biggest that we have had since Michael Jackson, since the height of Michael Jackson. In an era without stars, for the record. She is the last of a dying breed, and she is as big as anyone has ever been. And the only way you could imagine she could get bigger is to align herself with the NFL. And she has. In the most Taylor Swift way possible. True love. What does she write about all the time? The desire for love. The rejection of love. Her culpability in it. Your culpability in it. And everything in between. She's a tremendous songwriter. Soccer would have been bigger. Not in America, bruv. Not in America. Lionel Messi came to America, and if he scored 5 goals in a game, it would be secondary news to Antonio Brown doing a backflip into a pool. What if Trump shows up at the Super Bowl? Oh, that'd be big. That'd be big. You know, the caucus is only a couple days before. Who's got the Super Bowl? CBS? He's gone to sporting events before. Nevada is a swing state. What if she shows up in Tay-Tay suite and's got a hand on her ham? Oh, boy, can you imagine the swirl? Which team does Trump root for? Oh, who knows? I don't think he has a team. I mean, like, Taylor Swift has been smart that she's largely stayed out of politics, but Trump, like a lot of women, were very much activated by Trump in 2016. I've only seen the clips of the documentary she made about herself, but there is a scene that I've seen the clip of where she's like discussing with her family and her team about whether or not to come out for a political cause. I think Trump might support the Pats. Well, he certainly supported the Pats when Bill Belichick and Tom Brady were there because they were friends. I mean, he wouldn't have anybody to root for in this one, right? Who's he going to root for? The San Francisco team or the one with the Pfizer spokesman? He ain't rooting for nobody. The Chiefs owners are hardcore right wingers. Well, a lot of owners are hardcore Republicans. Turns out when you have a lot of money, you want to pay less in taxes. That is something I have found. And look, I am nowhere near their stratosphere, right? They're somewhere in outer space, and I'm like David Blaine levitating off the ground when it comes to personal wealth. But a thing that I have discovered in my life about myself is that you always think that if you get rich, that you'll be like, oh, okay, well, this amount of money is like, it's like 5% of my wealth. It's like 1%. You always see those things where it's like, well, to this rich person, this gigantic astronomic money to us regular people is like 5 cents to us or whatever, right? What I have found is that the more money I make and my wife and I make, and the more I pay in taxes, it really just exponentially I just get more annoyed. So I can only imagine if I'm paying millions, tens of millions, in some cases, hundreds of millions of dollars in taxes, I would be hundreds of millions of dollars annoyed. All right, hold on. I'm going to grab a tissue. I'll be right back. All right. Nice. Charge my watch. Turning my young lib admin assistant into a Ron Paul person as she keeps asking me about taxes coming out of her paycheck. Nice. Swift is an incredibly smart and tactical person and makes billions. She could likely steamroll Trump. I mean, like, what do we mean by steamroll? What do we mean by popularity? Could Taylor Swift get people to go to the polls? I mean, maybe the people that she speaks the most to are, well, I mean, Taylor Swift is so big, but then again, it's like leaning on pop culture people to turn out voters has historically not been, you want those people to be a hood ornament on top of a car that's going really fast. You don't want them to be the engine. If you're counting on one person turning out all your voters, then you got a problem. Now, if you can be popular enough that other popular people are like, I gotta fall in line here, then you might have something cooking. But like that's not, that is not the same thing as getting people to the polls. The medium is the message at a certain point. So yeah, if you're a politician, you're talking to people in political channels. You're talking to politically motivated people who are thinking about who they are going to vote for. Taylor Swift is singing to people that want to listen to Taylor Swift songs. And I like Taylor Swift songs. They're good. She's a great artist. If I had a daughter or a wife that was really, really, really into Taylor Swift, like a few of my friends have, I would have probably spent a lot of money on Taylor Swift tickets. But part of what makes Taylor popular is her vulnerability. And I think also the fact that, like, she did stay out of politics. She was not Katy Perry. She wasn't Jay-Z. She's not Lady Gaga. She's not, what was that final Hillary Clinton rally? The final Hillary Clinton rally was like it was like John Bon Jovi, Beyonce, and Jay-Z, right? And what did it lead to? A loss in Michigan, a loss in Wisconsin, a loss in Iowa, or, Ohio, and a loss in Pennsylvania. That's what it did. Thank you, DC Nest. Appreciate it. Well, I mean, Taylor Swift is a character, right? She's a human, but what she sells is a character that she has meticulously and artistically created. Taylor Swift, the character, is lovelorn. She is capricious. She is jealous. She is self-conscious. She is bitter. She is changed. She is renewed. She is disappointed. She is in love. Emotions that we all feel, and specifically for the female among us. I don't know if you guys have met any females, but they're not here on the internet. But these are themes that resonate with a demographic. Like, she doesn't talk about the fact that if you meet Taylor Swift, I would assume that a lot of talking to Taylor Swift is relentless professionalism. Relentless professionalism. Like, there was an interview for that Time magazine thing where she talked about, to get ready for her tour, which she does sing live for, that she ran she would run on the treadmill singing the entire show to get used to get her cardio up to do it. Now, who knows how much of that is myth making, but let's take it seriously. That's pretty fucking impressive. I do think that Taylor Swift and Trump do have a lot in common. I do think that they are both relentlessly aware of the conversation around them. We're not so different, you and I. I mean, she's performing for a fucking stadium. And she runs the same stadium like night after night after night. Like that tour will probably go on forever. There's no reason why it would ever end. It will just keep going. Sounds lucrative. Look, she's on top of the world. Now, what I didn't know was apparently Kevin Ryan found a clip, and I don't know if this is real, but one of the big moments in the modern arc of Taylor Swift is her catalog. She was not offered the ability to buy her catalog. It was sold to Scooter Braun, the manager for Justin Bieber and an enemy to Taylor Swift. The clip that I was sent said that it was financed. That was financed by George Soros. Which at that point, I mean, like, why is she not a MAGA hero? She's got the same enemies. She's fighting against George Soros. Let's see if I can find this. All right, here we go. See if you guys can hear this. Well, look, right there. If that's real, like those are all villains on the right. These are the same names that you hear bandied about in terms of like the New World Order conversations, right? You're not getting the audio. Fuck, god damn it. Oh, you want to know what? The audio was going out. All right. No sound. Well, why is that? Why is there no sound? That's what I want to know. I can hear sound. Well, that's weird because I'm seeing it on my board. Is this plugged in? I think it would have to be. Well, if you guys can't hear that, then we can't do calls. Because that's how we do the audio in for that. Really? You guys really couldn't hear that? But you can hear me. Oh, well, look, I won't. This was the this is basically it. Taylor Swift, after I was denied a chance to purchase my music outright, my entire catalog was sold to Scooter Braun's Ithaca Holdings in a deal I was told was funded by the Soros family, 23 Capital, and the Carlyle Group. That's what she says. I have no idea why the audio is not going out to you guys. I have no idea. But that means that we can do no calls. Because I don't know if it's an echo thing or might be an echo thing. I don't know. Anyway, so there we go. Taylor Swift. What else we got to talk about? We did this the map, the Senate map for the PX3 show. And spoiler alert, it's not good for Democrats. It's not good at all for Democrats. I'll show you why. Bring over my Notion. Here's the reason why. So this is all about just the map itself. This has nothing to do with the strength of the candidates. Has nothing to do with the race they're going to run, the issues they're going to run. This is literally just the ground on which they are fighting. This is a bad situation for Democrats when these three, what you're looking for in terms of like how the balance of power will change, you want to look at lean Democrat, toss up, and lean Republican. Well, that means that these seats are winnable. You've got 4 lean Democrats, all of them in battleground states. Michigan, Nevada, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin. And then you've got toss-ups, two of which are in Trump plus a lot states now. Montana with John Tester, Sherrod Brown in Ohio. God knows what's going to happen with Kyrsten Sinema. She reported her fundraising yesterday, and it does not look like she's going to run. But who knows? She still has a lot of cash on hand. Meanwhile, you've got Joe Manchin not running in this race, so that seat goes to solid Republican. So that means that you're starting the night. You are starting the night, if you're the Democrats, tied. You're at 50-50. Right now, you're at 51-49. You're at 50-50 when the game starts, right? And now the question is, how many of those 7 are also going to flip? You would imagine that Sherrod Brown and John Tester for sure, I would say. Sherrod Brown, likely. And then these being in battleground states, you're going to see exactly how much Trump coattails these folks. But on the Republican side, it's all solid Republican. And the two that are like, maybe, is Ted Cruz and Rick Scott. But not good news. Not good news for the Senate, for the Democrats. Because you can look at that map, and there's a world in which Biden wins. And the Democrats win the House, and they also lose the Senate. Because they lose in Montana. That's 51-49. That's Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. Baby dog is going to Washington. That's a fact. Yeah, I mean, the big reason why, John Tester beat Matt Rosendale. So I think the only reason why that is toss-up is in the opportunity that Matt Rosendale wins against Tim Sheehy in that primary. But I don't know. The Freedom Caucus ain't what it used to be in terms of that excitement, that support. What if we throw state abortion questions on top of it? Yeah. I mean, again, that'll motivate people in battleground states. Would it be a lame dunk presidency at the point that Joe Biden wins, but the Democrats lose the Senate? I mean, it'll be a lame duck presidency no matter what. But I do think that if Joe Biden wins, 2028 starts that November. 2028 starts by Christmas if Joe Biden wins. If Trump wins, we're going to live in the moment a little bit more because everybody panics about Donald Trump. But if Joe Biden wins, it's going to be all about 2028 immediately. It's going to be all about turning the page. Thank you, Joe. Thank you. Thank you. But I'm getting inaugurated. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, 4 years. Thank you. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Joe. I'm trying to do my job. Thank you, Joe. Bye. Spin dash 12. Joe ain't winning. I wouldn't count him out. It's going to be close. The progressives are going to suck it up and vote for him. They have no choice. They're going to forget all about the student debt. They're going to forget all about Palestine. They always do. No, Trump's going to be an existential threat. They're going to ban abortion the day that Trump wins. And the progressives are going to vote. It's going to be about abortion. And everyone will fall in line. Bernie Sanders is going to endorse him. And, Everyone will do the Bartman. It happens. There's no shame in it. It happens on both sides. No, progressives are going to vote for Biden. They're going to vote for Biden. That's what's going to happen. I think a Trump lame duck will be just as bad. Well, I only say that it's going to be different in that there'll be a lot of focus on what Trump does. I do think that Donald Trump will be a lame duck. And then at that point, we're going to have the most high stakes 2-year-long episode of The Apprentice. Donald Trump is going to have Carrie Lake, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and Ron DeSantis out there trying to sell ice slushies on 6th Avenue. I don't think that we make landslides in America anymore. I don't think that we are electorally built to have landslides. I just don't. It's going to be close. It's going to be close. I mean, a landslide would be winning states that you have no shot at winning. And I don't think, Donald Trump is not winning in New England. Donald Trump is not winning California. He's probably not winning Colorado, right? A modern landslide would be a Republican winning Colorado, a Democrat winning Florida or Ohio. Like that would be a modern landslide. All right, so these are the predicted leaderboards. What will the Electoral College margin of victory be? Right now, the most favorable holdings or the most expensive holdings, that means that the most money has gone on it, are Republicans by 65 to 104, Republicans by 35 to 64, Democrats by 35 to 64, and 65 to 104. So that's about where things fell the last few times, mostly because you get the bunching in the Rust Belt, right? So where goes Michigan, goes Wisconsin. Usually Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin all go together. It used to be Ohio. Ohio used to be the bellwether, but now Ohio is pretty solidly red. Florida used to be the big floppy sock that told you where the wind was blowing, but not anymore. It's pretty solidly red. I was harsh on the Biden team when laying out that Senate map. I think running on restoring Roe, quote unquote, is, anywhere between gaslighting and disingenuous. It's unrealistic. Looking at the map here, it's likely, even if Biden wins, that the Democrats are going to lose the Senate, just by the way the map breaks out. So you're saying that in your off-year election, you're going to win 11 seats? That hasn't happened in modern history. So you can't restore Roe without 60 votes. I just got sent a clip of Ted Cruz on Fox News saying he's in a 1-point race. All right. I still think Ohio splits and goes Trump and Brown. Maybe. If anyone's going to do it, it's Sherrod Brown. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that Joe Biden's best path to the White House is about abortion, and it's really the only issue that he has an unambiguous win on. He can't really run on foreign policy. He hopes he can run on the economy. We'll see. But what else is there? Because I'll tell you what, bruv, if you want to try and run on infrastructure, get out of here. You take credit for infrastructure projects 30 years after you pass the law. It's the reason why it's so hard to get an infrastructure bill passed, because nobody wants to do it because they're not going to get credit for it immediately. They're all 1-point races and it's a fundraising game. Yeah. You know, it's a lot of tight races. You know, when we went through here, I can read these stats again here for you. These are the battleground states that will decide the Senate: Arizona, Montana, Ohio, Michigan, Nevada, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin. Let me read you some of these here. Michigan, 2016, Donald Trump wins by 0.3. 2020, Biden wins 2.8, right? This is like some margin of error shit. Arizona, 2016, Donald Trump wins by 3.5. Arizona, 2020, Biden wins by 0.03. Close race. Weirdly, Nevada was the Nevada. Hillary Clinton won by 2.4. Biden won by 2.4. Pennsylvania, Trump wins by 0.7. Pennsylvania, Biden wins by 1.2. Wisconsin was the one that surprised me. That was the closest. 2016, Donald Trump wins by 0.77 over Hillary. Biden won by 0.6. I always thought Wisconsin was more liberal than Michigan, but it's been really, really close. Yeah, no, infrastructure is like an important thing, but it's like the broccoli of government. You need to eat it, but nobody's going to get credit for it. Because by the time that you get credit for it, it's, you're already gone. All right. That's going to be it. I got to get ready for this interview at the top of the hour. And figure out why we're not getting audio. Figure out why we're not getting audio on this thing. It is so weird that we are not getting audio, but I'll figure that out because I might need it for the interview. So I got to do a little tech testing. Till next time, friends. Wherever you watch, this is your old pal Justin Robert Young saying, listen to the podcast, subscribe to all these channels. I'll see you later.